Katelyn Nakatsu, in the presence of God and our family and friends, I pledge to take you as my future wife. I have prepared my works without and made it fit for thyself in the field, and now will prepare a home for us to live.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. I have some breaking news for you. I wasn't actually expecting to make a video today, and so I do apologize as this will be a voiceover and it might be in mono because I cannot figure out how to record in stereo, and I'm sorry about that if you're using your headphones. But Jed Duggar is getting married, and now we have actually verifiable proof because his fiance's father has published the video of their engagement. He published the video on their blog, and on their blog, he said this: "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." Proverb 18, verse 22. And then there was a video credit to someone named Stephen Fuller, and there was music credited to Speak, O Lord, Dave Mincy, there was piano playing behind the scenes. In the video, you can see Jed and Katey enter a makeshift church that has been sort of put into a barn. So a barn has been converted into a church. It has lit up with candles, and it's very weird because we don't actually see him ask her to marry him. It's bizarre because when they walk into the church, they look kind of like awkward in a way. I don't know if this was all prearranged. She had to have known walking into this that this is what was going to happen. And he walks her down to the end of the aisle, and then he gets down on one knee. You don't hear him say anything, and simply you hear her like nod her head yes. He places the ring on her finger, and then they just kind of like look at each other. They do a side hug. They look at each other again. They do another side hug. But the bizarre part of the whole thing is that as they're walking out, they start reciting these purity vows to each other. And you guys, this is like nothing I've ever heard. So I'm going to let you listen to Jed's vows to Katelyn, and then we'll talk about it. And then I'll let you listen to Katelyn's vows to Jed. And the more bizarre part about all of this is that the Duggars have not said a word to anyone about any of this. They have not published anything on their Instagram or Facebook. TLC has made zero announcements, and the video, which was published by Kory, was put out on the website, the family blog, on March 18th, 2021, and the last time they had actually published on this website blog was in 2019. So after a 2-year hiatus, they go back to the blog and publish Katey's engagement. I can't even make this up. It's so bizarre to me. But anyways, let's go into the purity vows. Check it out.
Katelyn Nakatsu, in the presence of God and our family and friends, I pledge to take you as my future wife. I have prepared my works without and made it fit for thyself in the field, and now will prepare a home for us to live. Until that time, I pledge to sustain your good reputation by staying within the sight of others when we are together. I pledge to keep my way pure and honor you with my eyes, my mind, and my heart. I will protect you by having no intimate physical contact until that day when God allows. I will come receive you as my wife.
Wow, you guys, that was incredible. I've never heard such an amazing purity vow in my entire life. He is going to honor her with his eyes and not take his eyes off of anything but wear places that honor her. So Mom and Dad Duggar have taught him well with Nike and not looking at her at any other place that might be, let's say, just a little bit defrauding. He also says that he will take her on the day that God gives her to him as his wife. It's so weird to me to hear someone say like, listen, I'm not going to touch you. I'm only going to look at you good. But man, once God gives you to me, I'm going to take you as my wife. You know, he's basically in Christian terms saying that once God gives me you, we're going to do the front hugging on the bed for 10 minutes. Anyways, this is interesting because I haven't heard something like this from the other girls or boys getting engaged in the past. Each woman and their family may have a different requirement. And given that her father is connected to the IBLP, perhaps this was something that he wanted Jed and Katey to do for one another in order to make a promise in front of their family and friends that they would remain pure. I don't recall anything like this with Ginger, with Jeremy, with Jessa, with Ben, with Jill, or Derek, but whatever. I mean, this is new, this is cool, this is different. Now, initially we thought that this was going to be filmed for the show, but it seems like it's not. It seems like this is being filmed for Katey's dad and Katey's stepmom, perhaps. I don't know if this is actually going to be on the show. I don't know if COVID was an issue. I don't know anything really. But let's hear Katey's vows to Jed, because knock your socks off.
Jed Duggar, I receive your pledge to marry, and when the Lord calls, I will be your wife. Just as the church is set apart for Christ, I am now set apart for you. I pledge myself to you, forsaking all others. And just as the Lord calls his bride, the church, to make herself ready, I pledge to make myself ready for the day that God shall bring us together as one.
So she's basically saying the same way that God would promise you the church and the purity of the church, she is going to honor God by making sure that her temple and her life and everything about her is, for him. It's interesting that they're already pledging to each other before they're even married. It's like they're doing vows, pre-vows to their vows. It gets better, you guys. It gets better. Check it out.
Until that day, I promise to redeem the time well by preparing for the high calling of a noble wife, and, if it be the Lord's will, a godly mother someday. I pledge to you, Jed, to guard and strengthen my testimony of Christ, and to be above reproach in my thoughts, words, and actions, that you might be honored at the city gates. As we await our Lord's return with patience and firm standing, I pledge to you that I will also wait patiently upon the Lord and upon you.
So Katelyn had a lot more to say than Jed, like way more to say than Jed. She said that she promises to, she said a lot of words and she didn't really say a whole lot. Like if God gives her the ability to have children, she will be the best mother. She will also be the best wife, and she will be pure to him, and she will keep her thoughts and her actions pure, and she will do the best to maintain her purity until the day that they become husband and wife through all of her actions. Now, the interesting thing, again, is that Jed said literally nothing. He basically said, I promise to make a home with you. I promise that I won't look at you badly, and we'll have a chaperone with us at all times. And Katey's was a lot more filled with flowery words. Makes you wonder if they actually wrote it themselves or if someone wrote it for them. I'm betting they wrote it for themselves. Anyways, that's their purity vows. I'm still in this belief that what the heck is going on here? Why is all the stuff with all of these weddings coming out from the families of the girls and not by the Duggars? Why are the Duggars in a way almost ignoring everything that's going on around them? We clearly know that they're getting married. There's no way to ignore this. You hear them saying their words to each other. They're promising to be pure to each other. They're promising to love each other. They're promising to, once they come together, they're going to get down and dirty and front hug on the bed for 10 minutes. Now, the wedding is going to be on April 3rd, and it's live streaming. This, interestingly, as I told you yesterday, the first episode of Counting On is set to air on March 30th, and it's supposed to be an Easter special where they will be celebrating Easter and meeting Joseph and Kendra's daughter, Brooklyn, because they have their daughter, Brooklyn Praise, and the family gets together after having the family gets together for brunch, and they all meet and they have fun, and it's a huge super spreader party. But anyways, I don't know if that in that episode we're going to learn about Katey and Jed. I don't know if Kory and the Nakatsus want to have this be quiet. I don't know if they don't want to be public. I don't know. But the fact that the photos leak from the proposal and then suddenly they put up the full video on their website and the Duggars say nothing, they don't have an NDA with the network. The Duggars do. So maybe this is the Duggars' way of getting it out, knowing that people have found this blog. Maybe they're in cahoots. You'll have to wait and see. But what are your thoughts about the purity vows? What are your thoughts about Jed getting married and no one knows about it? And do you think this is going to be featured on Counting On? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Bye, guys.